Yo, what's good? It's Mistora, and man, Re:Verse is finally here, man. I'm personally mad excited about that, even if it is only for just a few days, because it's in beta. I don't know when the game fully comes out, but still, I'm excited to get any playtime I can with this game, because I've honestly been looking forward to it a lot ever since I first saw gameplay of it, because I saw it for what it was just from that gameplay alone. Just a fun, wacky, multiplayer game for big Resident Evil fans to play as some of their favorite characters, go at it, and just have some good fun, man. And that's what this game looks like, and I'm going to give you guys my impressions so far in the game, and honestly, I think that's what this game is. This game succeeds at that. I don't really got no script or nothing. This is going to be kind of a one-take deal, just giving my overall, casual impressions. So let's just go ahead and get into it. So what even is Re:Verse, right? Well, as of its current state in beta as of right now, it's a Resident Evil third-person online multiplayer shooter, right? Where you pick from a few different characters that are available, a bunch of mainstay, really popular Resident Evil characters. You pick your favorite, and you go into a 6-person free-for-all against other people picking their favorite Resident Evil character, and y'all just all go at it head-to-head in like a no-holds-bar free-for-all, right? All the characters, while there is only 6 playable characters, they're drastically different in their skills, abilities, and like what weapons they have, right, and how they play. And not only that, where Re:Verse separates itself, because that of itself, like, okay, that can make a decent game, right? But where Re:Verse tries to set itself apart is that every single time you die, you don't need to pick up an item or anything. Every time you die, before you respawn, you come back to life as an infected, as a bioweapon, a BOW from the Resident Evil series, right? So you get taken out, you die in your human form, and then it's your turn to come back as like a bioweapon and try to get revenge. You're going around taking out other players. And what kind of bioweapon you come back as depends on how many virus samples you're able to pick up around the map while you're in your human form. So if you just die and don't pick up any samples, you come back as just like a lowly molded from Resident Evil 7. But if you pick up like 1 or 2 virus samples, you'll come back as a stronger bioweapon, like, Jack Baker from RE7, or like Nemesis from Resident Evil 3, or like a super tyrant, something dope like that, right? And that's where the game truly tries to separate itself apart. And to me, honestly, when you throw in all these crazy elements together, the game is honestly really fun. Is it janky? Does it have its issues? Oh, absolutely. But it is really fun, and there's just honestly so much potential here. Like I said earlier, part of the reason that I've had so much fun playing this game so far is just how differently all the playable characters are in terms of their gameplay and game feel, right? Like, that's humans and bioweapons. They all play dramatically different from their weapons, their active skills, and their passives. Like, it feels like a dramatically different gameplay experience every time you hop in and play, and it's really enjoyable in that regard. Like, just to go through them real quick, Chris Redfield is really tanky. He has like tank mode and stuff like that, where he could take a bunch of damage and he won't flinch. And Jill has like a really cool assault rifle, and she can lay down a bunch of mines. Leon can dual wield pistols, and he's the only character with a shotgun. Claire can like reload her revolver. Her revolver automatically reloads when she finishes a dodge, so she can just let tons of bullets fly. It's really cool. Ada Wong has her crossbow and is mad acrobatic. She does a bunch of flips and like has exploding crossbow bolts. And Hunk is the stealth-based character where like he can turn transparent, and he has a wrist-mounted dagger that does tons of damage if you can get it hidden. And like all the bioweapons are really cool too. Like Nemesis has his freaking rocket launcher, Jack Baker has his chainsaw, and it's all really fun to play, just to play as all these different characters. And it's really fresh. Like, so when you pick a human when you first hop into the game, you're locked into that human character because the matches are really short, like only 5 minutes, which honestly I think is perfect, at least for the free-for-all mode. It's perfect that the matches are so short. But for the bioweapons, you do get to play as different bioweapons throughout the game as long as you're picking up those virus samples. So even though you're stuck as the same human, you aren't stuck as the same bioweapon, and it feels really varied, and it never gets boring in those 5-minute matches as a result. Now, I do hope down the line more modes are included, because this game has so much potential. And I think Capcom knows that, and I think I know what Capcom's plan with this game was. See, with RE Resistance that came with Resident Evil 3 Remake, that game I feel like was intended to be a game that players just come back to forever in between Resident Evil releases, whether that's remakes or new games in the mainline series. But obviously, RE Resistance just felt really clunky to play and wasn't an enjoyable experience, so it failed at that. And I think that's what Capcom is trying to do again with Re:Verse. It's intended to be a game you play in between Resident Evil releases that you just keep coming back to with varied gameplay, tons of new content, because they already have like a content plan, tons of plans for update and content updates and stuff like that to be added to this game. So that's obviously what Capcom's goal is with this game here. It's meant to be something that kind of holds people over in between several of the different Resident Evil releases that come out across the years, right? And if that's their goal with this game, I think this game, honest to God, has a really good shot at succeeding in that regard, just from how much fun I've already had so far. But it truly does feel like there's only a strong foundation here so far, because we only got the one mode, right? So that foundation is set, but I can't see people getting bored with it quickly. So the vastly different characters from bioweapons to humans does help with that, but I really hope across the line we have more modes. What modes I would like to see are team-based battles and bigger free-for-all or bigger team-based battles. So right now, maybe a 3v3 in addition to the 6-person free-for-all we have now, but down the line, maybe a 12-person free-for-all on like a big map like Raccoon City, or 6v6 team battles or some objective-based modes would be cool. And I think that's what Capcom has planned anyway. I'm not going to worry about that too much because I honestly feel like that's what Capcom has planned for this game anyway. But yeah, just I get excited at that because I can clearly see how much potential this game has and where it could easily go in the future. That being said, let's talk about the game's some more finer elements, right? First, let's talk about gameplay, game feel. How does it feel to play this game controller in hand, not talking about how different the characters are, right? Well, it's responsive, right? First of all, it's responsive. It feels much smoother than RE Resistance ever felt. RE Resistance felt just mad clunky to me. It just didn't feel fun to play, whereas that's not the case here with RE Verse, right? It's responsive, it plays well. It does take a bit of getting used to the movement in the game because characters don't really sprint. They just kind of have a brisk jog the whole time, and you got to get used to dodging because at first you're going to start getting hit. You get in stun lock and you're like, okay, this is BS, I can't fight back. But certain times you're getting hit, you can actually dodge in the middle of getting hit. So that just takes some getting used to. You got to get used to that, whatever. But outside of that, yes, it is a smooth gameplay experience, and it just does feel actually good to have controller or mouse and keyboard in hand and just plain out play the game. But what about everything else outside of gameplay, right? What about like the monetization? What about the progression system? What kind of rewards do you get for playing the game at all outside of just having fun in matches, right? So first things first, it does look like this game is going to have premium currency. We're very limited in the beta for what we can see. Like you can't even buy the premium battle pass in beta, and you can't buy premium currency. Like there isn't even an option for it there in the HUD. But it does look like there's going to be a premium currency in the game, and it has a battle pass. Now, RE Verse is weird in that it's technically free because it comes free if you bought Resident Evil 8. If you bought RE Village, it's free. But it's not 100% true free to play, no, because you have to buy another game to be able to access this one, right? But that's kind of the monetization in a nutshell. It has a battle pass with challenges, your typical challenges, and it has, a free tier and a premium tier, right? Like I said, as of beta right now, like you can look at the premium pass benefits, but you can't buy any of the battle pass stuff in beta. But it comes with tons of things like wallpapers, RP booster. I guess like RP is like your experience points, or like your main, no, not your experience points. It's like your free currency booster. It comes with different perks that you can get for your characters, charms for your weapons, skins for your weapons, skins for your characters, etc., etc. Wallpapers are you being able to customize the home screen. You can customize the home screen for when you boot up the game, which I think is actually pretty cool. You know what I mean? I actually like this one right here, the ladies night. I like that one a lot. So yeah, you can like customize the wallpaper of the game itself. There's a lot of customization for the human characters, not just appearance-wise, but their skills. So if like for Hunk, for example, you can make him have higher HP, and all of the characters have perks that they can add to the human characters as well as the bioweapons you play as, and there's different loadouts you can have. So like all the characters have access to something that makes their HP better. They can all increase the damage, like reload speed and capacity of all of their weapons. And they all can increase the damage and like cooldown of their abilities. Now, judging from the battle pass, looks like there's going to be exclusive kind of perks locked to the battle pass as well. And you can also unlock skins for your characters. You can unlock poses for your character when you land in the top 3 after finishing a match. You can unlock weapon skins and weapon charms. And I think that's everything for like cosmetic customization. It doesn't look like, at least as of right now, there is no cosmetic customization yet for the creatures. But given that it's an option to even look at it in the creature menu, I'm going to assume creature skins are coming at some point in the future, right? And that's kind of it as far as like rewards and stuff you get. Now in the beta, I'm getting enough of the free currency to really deck out my characters as much as I want to as far as upgrading their perks. That really isn't an issue. Having enough free money to upgrade my character and even monster perks isn't a big deal. Some of the skins are purchasable only, it looks like, with premium currency or behind the battle pass, or some of them can only be outright bought from from like a premium store, it looks like. However, there are a few different skins and skins for weapons and character skins that you can just buy plain out for free, right? So, but again, that's just beta though. So we'll have to wait till the full game comes out to see just how, I guess, generous it truly is. You know what I'm saying? Up until now, I've been singing this game's praises, right? I've said that it's a game with a lot of promise, a really solid foundation, and that if given a lot of love and additional content updates, it can truly be an awesome game that lasts many years. But let's go into some of the cons that the game already has in its current beta state, in hopes that a lot of this stuff is addressed. The big one, like I said, I really hope that we get more game modes soon. Just playing the free-for-all, while really fun, I can see get boring without having at least one other mode to hop into to alternate, right? One of the other ones is connection. It does seem like this game utilizes a host-based connection system, and that if a certain player leaves, the game just stops. The game just ends and everyone goes back to lobby. And not only that, host-based connection means that, yes, you will run into games that just have an awful connection. I was on stream on TikTok, and I had a bunch of viewers in there, and they could just all see me wailing and landing ton of shots on the character, like multiple mags emptied into a character, and them just not going down. And everyone's like, "Wow, this character must be immortal." And the game just came out, so there can't be like hacks already out for it. But yeah, and that entire match was just really laggy. Like you could even tell walking up to an item that your character is supposed to automatically pick up, it didn't pick up. Like the game's supposed to automatically pick up for you. You walk near it, and in those connections, those games with bad connections, there's like a 4-second delay between the item like actually getting picked up. You have to stand near it for 4 seconds, which isn't how it's normally supposed to work. So they need to improve their netcode, absolutely. I would hope that one day we wouldn't need the host-based matchmaking system. Maybe it could be a rollback, but I don't know how rollback works in these kind of games. I know it works in like fighting games really well, but I don't play enough of these kind of games to know how that would work. But still increasing the strength and stability of their netcode would be awesome, especially because right now it's just beta. I hope it's better for the full release. More game modes, and the last one is a kicker. It's pending the monetization. Because while they might try to market this as a free-to-play game, there was a price tag associated. You had to buy another game. Meaning that if the game is where it's at right now in terms of monetization, where there's tons of stuff that I can buy with the free currency, and the free currency is handed out in a generous amount, I'm chilling. But if they throttle that back, if they make it so that they're not as generous with the free-to-play currency once the game actually comes out, and so many of the best rewards are just locked behind a paywall, then I have a problem. Because like I said, this game does technically have a price tag associated with it. And a free-to-play game like Multiversus has an incredibly positive and awesome monetization and is very generous, even though that game is truly free-to-play. So I feel like Capcom and Re:Verse has no excuse in this regard. Y'all have to make the monetization very generous towards your players because they did pay to access this game. I don't think most people are going to mind paying a few bucks for the premium battle pass and having a few really cool skins that are locked behind a paywall if those skins are like $10 max and there is still plenty of free to buy skins with free currency, right? Like there's a few character skins even you can buy just with currency. And like I said, it doesn't take too long to earn it. But again, that's all pending. That's probably the biggest potential con. But unfortunately, it's one of those things where it's pending and we'll have to wait and see. Now, let's say worst case scenario, the monetization is just outright awful. What then? Well, I still believe that even in its current state, if the monetization is awful, this is still a fun Resident Evil game to just hop into, have a good bunch of silly fun, even play with friends. I'll say that I do think it's fun even without friends, unlike some multiplayer games where you really need to play with friends to even have a bit of fun. I don't think that's the case here, just because the games are short and it's 6-player free-for-all. It's not team-based as of right now. But with that being said, even if the monetization is just outright awful, I do feel like this is still just a fun Resident Evil game to hop into, have a bunch of good silly fun, and hey, there might be room for people to take it really competitively. I'm not sure yet, and I do think it will really succeed at its job at holding people over in between Resident Evil or other Capcom releases. I think it'll do a great job at that, even if the monetization is bad, but the netcode does need to improve a little bit in order to fully succeed at that job, I truly feel like. And overall, y'all, those are my thoughts on Re:Verse. Like I said, I've been having a blast with it so far. I see the kind of potential this game has with a good, healthy amount of content updates. This game could be something truly special that Resident Evil fans can enjoy for years to come. And I think it's an incredibly solid game as long as they keep up with it, don't abandon it, and kind of tighten up on some of the areas, and they keep that monetization something that every player can enjoy regardless of how much money they're willing to throw at this thing, right? But yeah, like I said, overall, man, those are my thoughts on Re:Verse. Have y'all played it yet? Have y'all been checking it out? And what did you think about it so far? Do you think that something like this is worth Capcom's development time? Because for me personally, I felt like Resident Evil RE Resistance in the RE3 remake wasn't really worth the development time, and I feel like RE3 remake suffered as a result of them making RE Resistance. But I don't feel like that's the case here with this game. But what do y'all think? Do y'all think that developing this game, the time and resources was better spent elsewhere? Or do you think it is a fun side distraction Resident Evil game so far? Be sure to comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are. And as always, I'll see y'all next time. Peace.